Now presenting Minutes with Michael, with your host, Michael. Hello and welcome back to Minutes with Michael. I am actually in the church sanctuary. I love how I turned around and be like, where am I? Actually in the church sanctuary, recording this. I just got done with some morning meetings. Thursday is usually pretty busy for me in the morning. I actually like to cram as much in the morning as I can, which leads into this morning's Minutes with Michael encouragement. I want to encourage you, and I need encouragement in this too, to try your best to have a routine even in the quarantine. I'm telling you, dude, didn't even plan that. Didn't even plan it. But seriously, we should try our best to have a routine, even if it's an adaptive routine, even if the chore list looks different for the kids or ourselves, even if the sleep schedule is different, even if let's just try to have routines. And here's why I'm saying this. I almost said like studies have shown. I know that sounds so broad, right? But you really can find studies that have to do with the circadian rhythm, with our internal body clock, with the way that we release chemicals in our brains and the mesocortical pathways. You say, come on, you're just throwing out words. No, really, check it all out. It's fantastic. Our bodies were made to function best living a quiet and peaceable life, right? Living according to a routine. It's just how we work. And that's not to say that there's not times where it's appropriate for an adventure or even in times of war or things like that, things have to change up. But it would appear, based on what we know right now of the human body and things like that and how we work biologically, socially, a mix of the two, that when you get a consistent amount of sleep, more than 6 hours preferably, when you get the right kind of nutrition, things like that. But when you have these things regularly, your body begins to count on and depend on the regularity of these events in your body. And you say, Mike, you're being weird. No, I'm encouraging us to have somewhat of a routine. So, not in everything. Like the Minutes with Michael, goodness, I'm a day behind. I'm recording for yesterday right now. Not everything has to take place at the same time, but I'm talking about the things that must take place every day. Let's, just for our own sake, maybe for me, this is what I'm going to try to do the rest of this week and the beginning of next week. I'm going to get up in the morning at a certain time. I'm going to obviously read some Bible, pray. I say pray, then read Bible. Prayer is definitely what we're commanded to do more. Prayer, read some scripture, throw a load of laundry in, maybe begin cooking on every other day or something. I work out with my wife. Things that can get my body saying, okay, everything may be falling apart around me. Everything may look a little bit crazy outside of me, but I have control over these things. And you say, come on, man, that's weird. That's not going to help. I'm just encouraging you to give it a shot because I think it will help more than you might realize. And just throwing this out there as a little added bonus, if we, in our bodies, in our practice of self-discipline, master certain things every day, maybe even cause them to become habits, that will actually, and again, I'm not saying this is, you can't show a chart, an Excel spreadsheet for every single time without exception, but that will, in general, help us to master other areas of our life. In other words, for me personally, it's easier to deal with other forms of temptation or failure in my life if I can master my diet. If I'm eating right, everything else does seem to be going better. Or sleeping right, everything else does seem to go better. If I can have control over certain things in my life, it will branch out to allow me to have control over more areas of my life. So I just want to recommend to you, if you feel like, hey, it's quarantine, throw your hands in the air like you just don't care, there's probably an appropriate time to do that. However, I just want to encourage you to have a routine. I'm going to be talking with my wife about it, and we're going to try to set up a routine, even if it's just a temporary one for this coronavirus thing. Because like it or not, we're probably in the thick of this for another month or so before stuff really starts to reopen and I'm torn on that. Part of me thinks it's a good idea. I don't want to die. The other part of me says, well, people need to work. I get that. But I'm just throwing it out there. Let's try to develop or maintain some sort of routine and things that we have control over so that we don't feel as lost and so that we can also master other areas of our lives during this time. So just a fun word of encouragement. Nothing super silly today. I did the chainsaw thing last week, and I'll be doing another Get Fit with Mike Britt video here next week. But that's just a little morning thing. I'll try to roll out another video this evening to make up for it, because technically this video belongs to the 22nd. You say, come on, Britt, you don't even know what day it is? No, I don't always know what day it is, but I do know today's Thursday. I just don't know the date. So maybe I don't know what date it is. So anyways, stay healthy, be well. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. But this has been Moments with Michael. This has been Minutes with Michael, with your host,